Let me tell you something nobody wants to admit. Getting rich is not complicated. It is not a mystery. It is not reserved for the geniuses or the lucky or the connected. It is simple, brutally simple. But here is the problem. Simple does not mean easy, and most people confuse the two. Simple means the rules are clear, the path is visible, the formula exists. Easy means it requires no effort, no discipline, no sacrifice. Wealth is simple math, but it demands everything from you. The reason you are not rich yet is not because you lack intelligence. It is not because the deck is stacked against you. It is because you are operating with broken software. Your understanding of money is based on myths, on outdated programming, on what society told you was safe. Today, we are going to delete that software and install the operating system that actually works. By the end of this, you will understand exactly how money flows and, more importantly, how to position yourself in that flow. This is not motivation. This is not inspiration. This is cold, mechanical information about how wealth actually operates in the real world. If you want someone to tell you it will be okay, that you just need to work hard and wait your turn, close this now. But if you want to understand the actual architecture of wealth, the blueprint that the successful operate from, then pay attention. Because we are about to dismantle everything you thought you knew. Law 1. The problem economy here is a truth that will change your life. The market does not pay for effort, it does not pay for credentials, it does not pay for passion. The market pays for one thing only, solved problems. More specifically, it pays for solved pain. And the bigger the pain, the bigger the payment. Why does a heart surgeon make more than a janitor? Both work hard, both show up, both provide a service. Because the pain of a dirty floor is an annoyance. The pain of a failing heart is death. The market is not moral, it is mechanical. It allocates resources based on a simple algorithm. How much pain does this person solve? How difficult is it to replace them? If you are broke, it is because the problems you solve are either too small, too common, or too easy. Let me show you what I mean. You answer emails, so do millions of other people. Low pain, low uniqueness, low pay. You deliver packages, necessary, sure, but not deeply painful if delayed. Replaceable. Low pay. You serve coffee, convenient but not critical. Anyone can be trained to do it in a week. Low pay. Now contrast that, a cybersecurity expert who prevents a company from being hacked. High pain. The company could lose millions. High pay. A divorce lawyer who protects someone's assets and custody rights. Extreme pain. Their entire future hangs in the balance. High pay. A business consultant who turns around a failing company. Catastrophic pain. Survival of the enterprise. High pay. Do you see the pattern? The size of your paycheck is directly proportional to two variables, the size of the problem you solve and how hard you are to replace. If you want to get rich, you need to obsess over this question: what painful, expensive problem can I become exceptional at solving? Not the problem you are passionate about. Passion is great, but it is a bonus, not a strategy. The problem that keeps people awake at 3 a.m. The problem they would pay almost anything to eliminate. Find that problem. Master the skill to solve it better than 99% of people in your market. Position yourself as the go-to solution. That is it. That is the game. Stop chasing passion. Start chasing pain points. Because money is nothing more than a receipt for problems solved. The bigger the problem, the bigger the receipt. Law 2. Leverage is everything here is a fact that should shake you awake. There are people making $10,000 an hour right now, while you read this. And there are people making $10 an hour, working harder, sweating more, sacrificing more. Why? Leverage. The $10 an hour person is trading time for money. 1 hour of work equals 1 hour of pay. If they do not show up, they do not get paid. They are the machine. The $10,000 an hour person has detached their income from their presence. They have built systems. They own the machine. This is the only distinction that matters in wealth creation. Are you the machine, or do you own the machine? Let me be clear. Hard work is absolutely necessary. Discipline is non-negotiable. But hard work without leverage is just expensive suffering. You can grind yourself into an early grave and still die broke if you never build leverage. So what is leverage? Leverage is getting exponentially more output for every unit of input you invest. There are 4 types of leverage available to you right now. First, labor leverage. This is having other people execute your system. You solve a problem once. You document the process. You train others to replicate it. Now you earn a percentage of their output. One plumber fixes 10 toilets a day. 10 plumbers working for one owner fix 100 toilets a day. Same owner, 10 times the output. Second, capital leverage. This is making your money work for you instead of sitting idle. You take saved capital and deploy it into assets that appreciate or generate cash flow, real estate that rents, index funds that compound, businesses that operate, intellectual property that pays royalties. The broke save money in a checking account where inflation silently erodes it. The wealthy deploy capital into assets that multiply over time. Third, code and automation leverage. This is software, systems, and technology. You build it once, it runs infinitely. A software developer creates an application, it gets downloaded 1 million times. They did the work once, they get paid 1 million times. An online course creator records lessons once. It sells for years. The work is singular. The income is recurring. Fourth, media and audience leverage. This is content, distribution, and attention. You create once. It reaches thousands or millions. A YouTube video takes 10 hours to produce. It gets watched by 100,000 people. The effort is finite. The reach is exponential. A podcast episode is recorded once. It lives forever and continues bringing listeners and opportunities. If you are currently in a job where you must physically be present to earn income, you have zero leverage. You are renting out your time. And without leverage, wealth is almost mathematically impossible. Your mission, starting today, is to build leverage into your life. Start small. Automate one task. Delegate one responsibility. Create one asset that works without you. The wealthy spend the first 5 to 10 years of their career building the machine so they can spend the rest of their lives optimizing it. The broke spend their entire lives being the machine. Which one are you going to be? Law 3, perception equals pricing. Let me tell you a story. 2 consultants, both equally skilled, both solve the exact same problem for clients. Consultant A charges $500 per project. Consultant B charges $5,000 per project. Who do you think gets hired more often? You would think A, right? Same result, lower price. Basic economics, wrong. Consultant B gets hired more frequently and by better clients. Why? Because human beings are not perfectly rational economic actors. We use mental shortcuts to make decisions. And one of the most powerful shortcuts we use is this: price signals quality. When something is expensive, we assume it is valuable. When something is cheap, we assume it is inferior. Consultant A, by pricing low, is unintentionally signaling to the market, I am not that good. I am desperate for work. I am replaceable. Consultant B, by pricing high, is signaling I am in demand. I deliver premium results. I am selective about who I work with. This is not about lying. This is about understanding how perception shapes value. You are likely underpricing yourself right now. And it is not because you are being generous. It is because you are judging your value based on your internal experience. You know how hard it was for you to learn the skill. Or maybe it feels easy to you now, so you assume it is not that valuable. Stop that. Your clients do not care how hard it was for you to learn. They care about the result. They care about the problem you solve for them. Price is a signal. When you raise your prices, you do not just make more money. You attract higher quality clients. You filter out the people who do not value what you do. Here is the rule. Charge based on the value you deliver, not the time it takes you. If you can solve a $10,000 problem in 1 hour, you should charge based on the $10,000 of value, not the 1 hour of time. This is how top-tier professionals think. They price on outcomes, not inputs. But perception goes beyond pricing. It extends to how you present yourself, your website, your communication, your punctuality, your confidence, your boundaries. Are you signaling, I am a premium solution? Or are you signaling, I will take whatever I can get? Audit your entire presence, not to fake it, but to accurately reflect the value you provide. Stop undervaluing yourself. The market will only pay you what you believe you are worth. Wealth flows to those who carry themselves like the prize, not like the beggar. Law 4. The discipline of elimination. You think you need more to get rich. More time, more ideas, more connections, more opportunities. Wrong. You need less. Your life right now is likely cluttered with poverty-inducing variables, things that drain your energy, steal your focus, and keep you stuck in place. The wealthy understand something the broke do not. Subtraction is more powerful than addition. Let me break this down. First, eliminate low-value activities. Every hour you spend on something that does not move you toward wealth is an hour stolen from your future. You spend 3 hours a day scrolling social media. That is 1,000 hours a year. 1,000 hours you could have spent learning a high-income skill, building a business, creating an asset. You binge-watch series every weekend. That is 100 hours a month of pure consumption with zero creation. I am not saying never relax. I am saying be intentional. Rest is necessary. Escapism is poison. The wealthy consume content that gives them an edge. Books, podcasts, courses, insights. The broke consume content that gives them an escape. Gossip, drama, distraction. Every minute you give to distraction is a minute you are making someone else rich. You are the product. Your attention is being mined and sold. Reclaim it. Second, eliminate toxic relationships. This is going to sting, but it needs to be said. You cannot rise if the people around you are pulling you down. If your closest friends complain constantly, mock ambition, and celebrate mediocrity, they are anchoring you to the bottom, not because they are bad people, but because mindsets are contagious. Beliefs spread like viruses. If you spend every weekend with people who think getting rich is luck or a scam, you will unconsciously adopt that belief. You do not need to be cruel, you do not need to burn bridges, but you do need to create distance. Spend less time with people who drain you. Spend more time with people who inspire you, challenge you, and operate at a higher level. This is not about being elitist, this is about survival. Your environment shapes your identity. Your identity shapes your actions shape your results. If you are the smartest, most ambitious person in your circle, you are in the wrong circle. You are stagnating. Find people who are ahead of you, learn from them, model their thinking, let their standards become your new normal. Third, eliminate the noise. We live in the most distracted era in human history. Notifications, emails, messages, alerts. Your phone is engineered to fragment your attention into 1,000 pieces, and fragmented attention is the enemy of wealth. Wealth requires deep work, long stretches of uninterrupted focus on high-leverage tasks. If you cannot sit down and work on one thing for 4 hours straight without checking your phone, you will never build anything significant. Focus is the new IQ. In a world full of dopamine addicts, the person who can concentrate is unstoppable. Here is what you do. Delete apps that do not serve your mission. Turn off all non-essential notifications. Schedule specific times to check messages. Protect your deep work time like it is sacred. Because it is. That is where wealth is created. Getting rich becomes simple when you eliminate everything that does not build the asset. Distractions, low-value work, draining relationships, noise. If it does not pay rent in your life, evict it. Law 5. The courage to compete. This is where most people quit before they even start. They want wealth, but they do not want competition. They want success, but they do not want confrontation. They want to win, but they do not want anyone to lose. That is not how reality works. Business is competition. The market is a game. And in every game, there are winners and losers. If you open a coffee shop, you are competing for customers with every other coffee shop in town. You want their business. You want them to choose you over the others. That is not evil. That is commerce. If you are too nice to compete, if you are too polite to close a sale, if you are too soft to negotiate hard, someone else will take what could have been yours. Not because they are bad people, because they are willing to play the game. Here is what you need to internalize. Creating value and competing for customers are not mutually exclusive. They go together. You should absolutely serve your clients with excellence, build genuine relationships, operate with integrity, but you also need to be willing to fight for the deal, to ask for the sale, to negotiate for what you are worth, to walk away if the terms are not right. The market respects strength, it respects boundaries, it respects people who know their value and will not compromise. If you undercharge because you feel guilty, you are essentially donating money to people who do not care about your financial well-being. If you accept bad terms because you are afraid of losing the client, you are training the market to undervalue you. Compassion is beautiful. But in business, kindness without boundaries is weakness. You must develop the ability to handle conflict, to say no, to enforce agreements, to fire clients who do not respect you. This is not cruelty. This is professionalism. Wealth flows to those who respect themselves enough to demand respect from others. Law 6. The fortress of capital making money is step 1. Keeping money is step 2, and most people fail at step 2. You can earn $1 million and spend $1 million. Congratulations, you are not rich. You are just a well-paid consumer. Wealth is what stays. Wealth is what compounds. Wealth is the reservoir, not the river. The system is designed to make you spend. Every advertisement, every algorithm, every influencer showing you their lifestyle. It is all engineered to separate you from your capital. Treat yourself. You deserve it. Upgrade your life. Live a little. This is not advice. This is propaganda designed to keep you broke. Here is the rule the wealthy follow. Never buy luxuries with your labor income. Buy luxuries with the income from your assets. What does that mean? If you work for the money to buy a luxury car, you are a slave to that car. You have to keep working to maintain it, insure it, fuel it. But if you use your labor income to buy an asset, a rental property, a dividend portfolio, a profitable business, and that asset generates enough passive income to pay for the car, you are free. The asset is working. You are not. This is the difference between looking rich and being rich. Looking rich, expensive car, designer clothes, luxury apartment, all financed by active income. Stop working, lose everything. Being rich, modest lifestyle, growing asset base, compounding investments. Stop working, income continues. The loudest person in the room is usually the one with the most debt. They are performing wealth. Real wealth is silent. Real wealth is freedom. Freedom to say no. Freedom to walk away. Freedom to wake up when you want. That is the flex, not the watch. When you start making money, shut your mouth. Do not broadcast it. Do not upgrade your lifestyle immediately. Save aggressively. Invest strategically. Build your fortress, because the world will try to take it back. Taxes, inflation, lifestyle creep, bad investments, people asking for loans. Protect your capital like a dragon guards gold. The wealthy are paranoid about losing what they have built, and that paranoia keeps them wealthy. If you are not thinking about protection, you will lose it all. Law 7, the weapon of time. Let me remind you of something uncomfortable. You are dying. Every second that ticks by is a second you will never get back. Your life is finite. Your time is the only non-renewable resource you have. The poor sell their time. The rich buy time. This is the fundamental divide. When you mow your own lawn to save $20, you are saying your time is worth $20 an hour. When you spend 2 hours in line to save $5, you are valuing your life at $2.50 an hour. If you want to be wealthy, you must start thinking in terms of effective hourly rate. What is your time worth? If you want to make $1 million a year, your time needs to be worth roughly $500 an hour. If you are doing tasks that can be outsourced for $20 an hour, you are losing $480 every hour you do them. You are literally burning money. But I cannot afford to hire help. You cannot afford not to. This is the leap. You hire help so you have time to focus on the $500 an hour activities, the things only you can do, the high leverage work, sales, strategy, building relationships, creating systems. You must become ruthlessly protective of your time. Do not let people pick your brain for free. Do not attend meetings that should be emails. Do not say yes to things out of guilt. Every yes to something unimportant is a no to something that could change your life. Learn to say no. Learn to be unavailable. The more scarce your time is, the more valuable it becomes. When you detach your income from your time through leverage and then protect your remaining time like it is sacred, you achieve the ultimate goal, autonomy. You wake up and decide what to do. But because you have to, because you want to. That is wealth. Everything else is decoration. Law 8. The asymmetric bet. The wealthy think differently about risk. They look for asymmetric opportunities, bets where the downside is limited but the upside is unlimited. Working a job is symmetric risk. You trade time for money at a fixed rate. Your upside is capped. You will never make 10 times your salary next month, but your downside is total. You can get fired, laid off, automated. Starting a business is asymmetric. The downside, you lose some time and money, painful but survivable. The upside, you could build something worth millions. You could create generational wealth. You could change your entire family tree. Investing in index funds is asymmetric. The downside, a temporary dip in value. The upside, compound growth over decades. Your money could double, triple, 10 times over time. Creating content online is asymmetric. The downside, some videos flop. You waste some hours. The upside, one video goes viral. You build an audience. Opportunities flood in. You need to hunt for these opportunities relentlessly. What can I do where the worst case scenario is bearable, but the best case scenario is life-changing? That is where you place your bets. And here is the secret. You do not need to win every bet. You just need 1 or 2 massive wins to change everything. Most wealthy people failed multiple times before they succeeded, but they kept taking asymmetric bets until one paid off massively. The broke take symmetric bets. Safe, predictable, capped upside. The rich take asymmetric bets. Risky in the short term, explosive in the long term. Which game are you playing? Law 9. The death of waiting here is the final law. And it is the most important. Stop waiting. Stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting to feel ready. Stop waiting for someone to save you. No one is coming. There is no bailout for your life. There is no lottery ticket. There is no inheritance. There is no lucky break unless you create the conditions for it. This realization terrifies the weak, but it liberates the strong. If it is all up to you, then you have complete control. You are not a victim of circumstances. You are the architect of your future. Stop hoping. Start planning. A plan is not a fantasy. It is a sequence of concrete actions. Step 1. Acquire a high-income skill. Sales, copywriting, coding, design, consulting. Step 2. Apply that skill to solve expensive, painful problems for people. Step 3. Charge appropriately, build leverage, reinvest. Step 4. Use the income to acquire assets that generate passive cash flow. Step 5. Repeat until you are free. It is boring, it is repetitive, it is simple. The only variable is your discipline. Are you willing to do the boring hard work when you do not feel like it? Are you willing to study while others party? Are you willing to risk looking foolish? Are you willing to fail and try again? If the answer is yes, wealth is not just possible, it is inevitable. It is just a matter of time. Conclusion. So why is getting rich simpler than you think? Because the formula is clear. Solve painful problems, build leverage, protect your capital, buy back your time, take asymmetric bets, execute relentlessly. That is it. The difficult part is not the strategy. The difficult part is the discipline to execute it consistently over years. Most people know what to do, they just do not do it. They get distracted, they quit when it gets hard, they listen to the doubters, they settle for comfort, but you are still here, which means you are different. You have the information, you have the blueprint. The only question left is, will you build? Because once you start this path, you cannot unsee it. Once you understand how wealth actually works, you cannot go back to blaming circumstances. You become the architect. The blueprints are in your hands. Wealth will isolate you before it liberates you. Your old friends may not understand. Your family may question you. You may feel alone. But that silence, that is the sound of you outgrowing your old life. And on the other side of that silence is freedom. The freedom to choose. The freedom to create. The freedom to live on your terms. Are you ready? Then stop watching. Start building. The clock is ticking.